This is Young Miami. Young Miami has built a reputation of her being a WHORE. That's not me who said it. In fact, she told the whole world this. Do you remember this video?
Like I'm gonna like with a W. Like I'm gonna. But what if Summer comes to you as pretty as she is and says, "Mom, I want to be a city girl"?
And so in that video, they're asking her, well, what if your daughter, after she says, guys, I am a WHORE, and we can believe that because she's been known to be associated with the likes of Diddy, in one post talking about how she loved golden showers. And you can imagine, you could use your imagination if you don't know what that is. But she was asked, what if your daughter wanted to be that? And she said, no, I don't want her to be that, but I'm that. Well, she's built a reputation on that so much through her music and her actions and the plethora of men who she has allowed to have her way with her, up to the point where the public has now decided to believe her for what she said. She doesn't like that. Again, she does not like that what she said she is, the public now believes. And a perfect example of this is what happened during this last NFL draft with Shedeur Sanders. So she wanted to congratulate Shedeur and said on her TikTok, this is what she tweeted. In celebration of him getting drafted, she posted and tweeted, giving natural blonde with this photo featuring Shedeur Sanders. Now, she saw this as an opportunity to celebrate him, which is what she wanted people to think. And a lot of people instead saw this as a woman who's trying to possibly trap yet another athlete. And they straight up started to call her 304, and she got embarrassed, which is followed by this tweet where she says, y'all bees don't know what supporting your people look like. Everything ain't D and cat. There she said the real words. It's blurred out because, it's Instagram. It's funny how she's like, not everything has to do with D and cat. Well, let's be honest, Young Miami. That's all your songs are actually about. That's all your brand has ever actually been about. I could bring up the lyrics to one of your songs right here on the Coffee Pod and read them out loud, but my channel will probably get flagged, and so will this video. But there's no song, I guarantee you can't find a song out here where Young Miami does not talk about her cat, right? Or her cheeks and how she uses men for money in exchange for time with her, which sounds like something an actual prostitute would do. Hence the WHORE tag that she will carry probably for the rest of her career. So that tweet that she made was in response to this person who said, Carisha making it so obvious, girl, LOL. The ink ain't even dried yet. Here's somebody else at the bottom here who says, you are a WHORE. That's why everyone is worried. Now, here's where things get really funny. To which she responded, name 3 ninjas I've been with. In less than 3 seconds, somebody responded back with Diddy and your 2 baby daddies, like Carisha, please. And then she says, no, my baby daddies don't count. When y'all calling me a 304, name the niggas, name the ninjas I'm effing. She's going to sit here and act like she's only messed with these 3 men her whole life. These chicks think we're stupid, man. They really think we're dumb. Don't you women see that men and everyone else are finally catching on to your 304 and prostitution tendencies? Do you not think that the words in your lyrics matter? If every single song that you release is constantly telling people you sell cat, don't be surprised. Because when you say he's not going to hit unless if he buys me a Birkin bag and this coochie ain't free and every other bar that's something that's close to those lines, then people assume that you are a prostitute. Nothing less, nothing more. Anyways, something tells me that Shedeur isn't going to fall for this. And this type of sorcery won't work. At least we can hope that it won't for him or anybody else. Obviously, after Young Miami has been done with Diddy, she's now back on the prowl, looking for the next man who she can lure in and benefit from monetarily. Wouldn't be surprised if the pockets are getting dry. Anyways, of course, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. It's a hell of a reputation when you've built one, especially as embarrassing as you being a literal prostitute. To my men out here who are not looking for prostitutes, who actually want to find good women out here to settle down with for a relationship, and you're interested in prenuptial agreements, but don't know where to start, head over to fathershaverights.com. Our guide has helped hundreds of men get educated on where to start. And you can start with Fathers Have Rights. Peace. Previously on the Coffee Pod.
I'm really like I'm on like with a W. Like I'm on. But what if Summer comes to you as pretty as she is and says, "Mom, I want to be a city girl"? She ain't gonna be no city girl. Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl.
So Summer is her daughter, and if you guys didn't hear that, because my editor probably bleeped it out, she said, "I am a WHORE." Right? It's like you really can't make this shit up, bro.
I want her raised totally different. Like I really want her to just be like, like level-headed, a schoolgirl. I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
Listen, I know you guys couldn't believe what you heard, so we're just going to play that one more time so that you know what your ears heard and your eyes saw was facts.
I'm really like I'm on like with a W. Like I'm on. But what if Summer comes to you as pretty as she is and says, "Mom, I want to be a city girl"? She ain't gonna be no city girl. Summer ain't allowed to be no city girl? I want her raised totally different. Like I really want her to just be like, like level-headed, a schoolgirl. I kind of was raised different, so I don't want to raise her up how I was raised. So, I'm a city girl, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I don't want that for my daughter.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
This is kind of sad. This is kind of sad because you guys know when the lights and cameras kind of go off, what she said there is kind of deep. She basically just said she was raised up to be a. Now, there's another side of this where it turns from sadness to anger because these are the type of women that are lifted up in the music industry. How do you know that, Chisha? Because I listen to them. Yes, guys, I've been very honest about my struggle with rap music and deciding what's okay and what's not. And at first I thought, it's just music and I don't take it seriously, even though there are people out there who hear certain type of like trap music, for example, and it motivates them to go out and actually live that real experience in real life. And we all know those people who went out there, got in trouble, inspired by music, culture, drugs, alcohol, the life, hip hop. And you find out like, wait, bro, you're actually out here robbing people. You're actually out here selling your cheeks. Right? You're selling cat, like for real. Like you're really out here doing that. And you realize that for some people, this has a negative effect. And then I think I'm not ignorant enough to think that this type of music for anybody cannot affect them in some way, shape, or form. There's a saying that goes, when somebody shows you who you are, believe them. What about when somebody tells you who you are?
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.